MICANEK Motorsport team entered the 2018 season with a brand new Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo EVO and became the first ever team in Central Europe to do so. The first race weekend with this new and unique car was at Monza, Italy, where Josef Zaruba and Bronislav Formanek raced in the Blancpain Lamborghini Super Trofeo Series. The first race of the FIA and the International SZV4 Cup was Hungaroring. The team headed to Hungary with only one goal, to fight for the win, and they managed to do so. Josef Zaruba dominated the GTC category in sprint race with the Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo EVO and fought for the overall win in both races against stronger GT3 cars. MICANEK Motorsport team entered the Huracan Evo even in the endurance race. Bronislav Formanek joined Josef Zaruba as the second driver, and they both managed to do very well, even against faster GT3 cars, and after a 1 hour race, they finished third in the overall standings, while winning the GTC category in a dominant way. Apart from that, MICANEK Motorsport team also raced at Hungaroring in the Clio Cup Series with a fourth-generation Clio car with MICANEK, who joined the team after years of karting. He did very well in his debut race against 11 other Clios and took his first 2 wins. For the second race of 2018, the FIA and the International SZV4 Cup moved to the Red Bull Ring, Austria. This circuit offers a beautiful scenery of Austrian Alps, and it was the third track from the Formula One calendar in which the team from Brno raced this year. There were no changes for Austria. Bronislav Formanek joined Josef Zaruba once again in the Lamborghini, while MICANEK raced with the fourth-generation Clio Cup car. In the sprint races for GT3 and GTC, it was once again Josef Zaruba who took a win in his category. In the overall standings, he had to satisfy for second place, being beaten only by the latest Audi R8 GT3 of a Polish driver, Marcin Jedlinski. However, the second race didn't go that well. Josef Zaruba went on to overtake one of the drivers who was a lap behind, but he was forced out of the track and got a puncture. He had to retire from the race. Just like in Hungary, the Josef Zaruba and Bronislav Formanek team was the one to beat in the endurance race. After a 1 hour battle, which resembled a sprint race much more, they managed to take the 5th place in overall standings and a great second place in the GTC. And good results kept coming for the team as MICANEK took another sprint win. He had a good competitor in Joachim Gallas, who is also a rookie in the world of circuit racing after years of karting. In a big competition amongst almost 20 Renault Clio Cup cars, MICANEK won even the other race that weekend and made it 4 out of 4. After 10 long years, the FIA championship went to a racing circuit near Rijeka, the Grabnik circuit in Croatia. The track underwent a major surface reconstruction, which made the experience much more pleasant for the drivers, including a MICANEK Motorsport duo of Josef Zaruba and MICANEK. Once again, it was Josef Zaruba who was entrusted the Lamborghini Huracan Super Trofeo EVO for the sprint race. Nobody was surprised anymore to see this GTC car racing against stronger GT3s, especially with Zaruba being one of the top drivers. In the end, he managed to take second place in his category at Grabnik circuit. In the meantime, MICANEK seemed to be unstoppable. Despite it was his first ever season behind the wheel of a fourth-generation Clio Cup car, he managed to win 6 out of 6 races. But it was not easy at all. He had to fight hard for it, especially at Grabnik. As usual, the races at Slovakia rate amongst the most popular and the most visited events of the season, and this year it was no different. The FIA and SZMMSR Championship have been racing at the one and only permanent circuit in Slovakia, Slovakia Ring, for several years. Josef Zaruba and MICANEK races for the MICANEK Motorsports in the penultimate round of both championships. For the endurance races, the team was joined by Kurt Wagner. Zaruba dominated and won both GTC sprint races, even against several much stronger GT3 cars. On Sunday, he was leading the race in the overall standings, but in the latter stages, he got passed by the Polish driver Marcin Jedlinski with Audi R8 GT3 LMS. A German driver, Kurt Wagner, got his debut in MICANEK Motorsport colors on Saturday evening in the endurance race. Wagner entered the one-hour race on his own, and he managed to take the 4th place in the GTC category. MICANEK, meanwhile, continued in his great performances with the Renault Clio Cup car. However, this time he didn't win, yet he managed to add at least 2nd places and got even close to the championship win. The final round of the season was a home race for the team at the Masaryków Ukra in Brno, Czech Republic. The drivers' lineup stayed the same, with Kurt Wagner joining the team for the endurance race in a Lamborghini Huracan. Josef Zaruba remained behind the wheel for the sprint races, and MICANEK arrived as a strong championship contender in the Clio Cup. While Makes had an incredibly strong opening part of the season, after taking 6 wins in a row despite just switching from karts to circuit racing, he was struggling a bit in the latter parts of the season. However, that didn't stop him from winning the championship in Brno. Next to the overall win in the SZV4 Cup, Makes also celebrated an overall 2nd place in the Czech Championship. The first sprint race of the GT cars will be remembered for its massive crash of multiple cars in the first corner. But after the restart, Josef Zaruba took the overall lead despite being in the GTC car, and he managed to keep it until the end. He had become the first ever driver to beat all GT3 cars. That Saturday win brought 3 different championships to Zaruba. He won the Czech Championship, the FIA SES Championship, and the SZV4 Cup. He celebrated by taking another win in the GTC category on Sunday and also finishing 2nd in the overall standings. Kurt Wagner was still getting used to the new Huracan, as he previously raced only with the Gallardo. However, he still managed to take the 4th place in the endurance race at Brno. The 2018 season was a very positive one for MICANEK Motorsports team.